I have a small holly. It's been in the backyard for a while. We, in recent years, maybe even this year, just moved it to the side bed. It actually marks the boundary. It's just barely in the boundary line in the corner where we live. I've been waiting for it to get berries so that I could film it. And I see a bunch of berries in here. They're kind of hidden. You can't really see them from the outside unless you look for them. See, right there's another one. It's kind of hidden down in there. If you're like me, you think of holly around Christmas time. It's so classic to have the red berries and these holly leaves at Christmas time. They're so classic, the way they're pointy. They make a lot of artificial ones to decorate with for the holidays. So the scientific name is Ilex Mesereau. That's the name of mine. I've got in parentheses Mesdob and Mesog. That's because this is China twins holly. And I didn't know this, but there's two kinds of China holly, and when you put them together, they make this plant. But before we go there, I'll go ahead and say that the holly family is the Aquifoliaceae. That's a big mouthful. So my tag says, a female and a male plant are grown alongside each other to ensure prolific berry production. Well, my production either is not prolific or the birds eat it before I can see them. It continues on. These fast-growing selections have a sense upright and rounded form. Shiny green foliage sets off the heavy berries. The plant is dioecious, something like that. It's Dioecious, meaning that it has separate male and female plants. And only the female plants produce berries known as drupes. Oh, so the berries are known as drupes. That's funny. And they're only on the female plant. So if I followed the branches with the berries down, I would see where the female one went into the ground. So you would think one side of it would have berries and the other would not, but because they're planted next to each other, the branches kind of like grow together and they kind of merge together. A drupe is a fruit that has flesh surrounding a hard central pit that forms from a flower's ovary wall. Just a special note, birds love these berries. I love planting plants that birds can benefit from. So the white flowers in the spring are so tiny that they are inconspicuous, and they're on the male plant. Although, if you look, it said on the internet they bloom in the spring, but look, it almost looks like they're blooming now, and this is mid-October. I have to get kind of far away from them to see them. They're so tiny and my camera won't focus on them. They're that tiny. Let me see if I can get my hand in here. That way you can see it in comparison to my pinky or my forefinger. It's super tiny. And there's another one coming out beside it. They are definitely inconspicuous. See, it's beautiful. It looks like this one here is blooming and these are done blooming. Actually, if you look at it, there's some that are done blooming and there's some that are still blooming. That's a huge mass. I wonder if all of those will turn into berries. I guess only the ones that are pollinated. Here's another good example of them. So I guess they bloom in the autumn. And that's why we get the berries so late in the autumn. The berries follow the blooms that are in the autumn. Surely these haven't been there all year. So the plant is an evergreen shrub, and it should be pruned in the early spring before the new growth begins. Now, I've been keeping mine small because I had it in a flower bed, but this year I did not prune it back at all. I want to allow it to get just a little bit bigger in this spot. I often prune it when I prune my rose bushes in January. These two together are cute. I'm trying to get them with a leaf in the same picture, but it's not working. Maybe if I stop pulling on it, I can get it. So I tried following the branches, and my information has to be wrong because look, I have a berry here on this branch, and you follow this branch up and you have all those blooms. They're on the same plant. Well, that just blows my whole video out of the water. Maybe somebody can watch it and tell me. So this one right here, you can see, if I can get it to focus, it is coming out of where the flower was. So something's wrong with my notes. So there must be other things in the spring that pollinate where the flowers are.